All right, man. It was had a conversation yesterday about the lawsuit. All right, a few things in the lawsuit which I'm not going to even revisit the lawsuit. All right, I read it once. They're live on it. Like I said, I'm done with the Spence and Crawford things. But if you look, if you look on PBC historically, they are not about making black versus black fights. All right, historically, boxing is not about making black on black fights. Okay, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? It's not about making black versus black fights. And in the lawsuit, he said that basically he quoted it like Mayweather saying a few times. Uh, and Mayweather said a few times uh, in the article in the lawsuit that he was quoted, or in a press release. Let me say it, the lawsuit says that Bob Arum just tried to convince us that black we don't sell as black fires, and he just think Mexican sales. But at the same time, Floyd Mayweather, okay, uh, he pushed that narrative too. He believed the very same thing that he fought against with Bob Brim, and that's why he fought all those Hispanics, and he barely fought brothers. He fought Shabba Mitchell, like what Love More None Do, and guys like that. But he believed in fighting. He believed in that very same thing. And him quoting that in the lawsuit, that's just what boxing run on. Boxing runs on the Hispanic fan base. All right, even though I believe they said the sport was started Queensberry rules in England, it runs on a Hispanic fan base. All right. Out of all the brothers that he could have fought, all right, he didn't. And the Zab Judah fight showed you why he didn't fight those guys. Shabba Mitchell was a guy he fought. Amazing story. All right. But he fought him. You know what I'm saying? And he's an anomaly. Zab Judah, got dropped. But after that, I think yeah, Bob Arum. But after the Bob Arum thing, he only spent, Argentine, Mexican, white boy, England, white boy, Mexican. He fought one brother, Shane Mosley. That's the last $1 million black pay-per-view. Mexican. I mean, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Argentine, Philippine, black and white guy. So, like I said before, you know, boxing, PBC have never been about, and I consider PBC been around as long as Floyd Mayweather. They've never been about fighting black people. Even in exhibitions, he fighting Chinese or Japanese guys and white boys, and instead of giving Money Powell, not Money Powell, excuse me, shout out to Money Powell, but instead of giving Money Kicks opportunity, instead of giving my man's, what's the other one that Logan Paul fought, the brother, instead of giving him an opportunity, he giving the Money Kicks kid an opportunity. This has never been built on black versus black. If you think about all the black versus black fights that PBC had on their side of the street, or could have made with another promotional company, think about it, bro. Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, Jamil Charlo, Jared Hurd, a lucrative rematch that they actually could have kind of, every pay-per-view they doing right now, bro, from the Spences to the Tank Davises to the Charles Martin, you know what I'm saying? Even Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather, you had a better case and a bigger and a better case and a more a stronger case to make Tony Harrison and Jamil Charlo 3 a pay-per-view fight. Every pay-per-view they did, shouldn't have been on pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Every pay-per-view that they did, bro, even the Mikey Garcia fight, they didn't deserve to be on pay-per-view. But they continue to go out their way not to make these fights. Jamel Charlo, Jared Hurd, never happened. Jamal Charlo, they did make Jamal Charlo and J-Rock. That did happen. They didn't make Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade. They didn't make Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. They didn't make Deontay Wilder and Charles Martin. They didn't make Gervonta Tank Davis and Gary Russell. They didn't make Gervonta Tank Davis and Tevin Farmer. People say, well, Tevin Farmer said, he didn't want to fight on the Mayweather. I forget who undercard it was. I think it was the McGregor undercard. He didn't want to fight on there. But then Tevin Farmer made him an offer that was more lucrative, way more lucrative than they offered him to come over. So we keep going on and on. All these other fights that they can make, they haven't made historically. They haven't. They don't believe in making black versus black fighters. So they they told you 9 times out of 10 that they wasn't putting money up for black fights. They told you that. They told you that. They said we'd rather send Charles Martin to go fight AJ than make him fight Deontay Wilder. But all of a sudden, Tyson Fury come off his couch with a case of Tecate, 34 pack, 48 pack, 224 cases of Tecate, off his couch, and they made the fight with the white guy. Come on. Come on, you complaining in the lawsuit, which, like I said, he got a foot to stand on. That you complaining about, Bob Arum, him and Floyd complaining that Bob Arum only care about Hispanics. So do Al Heyman. So do Al Heyman. So do Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather built his lucrative back end his career with Mexicans, Hispanics, Argentines, Filipinos. He didn't give a guy like Devin Alexander a chance, or Sean Porter a chance, or Keith Thurman a chance, or Earl Spence a chance to silence the sparring rules. He didn't. But he was the first person to talk about how black people didn't support him, or the Americans didn't support him versus Ricky Hatton. But then he tell black people that we didn't help him make the money that he made, that we didn't support him. Don't that sound familiar, bro? Don't that sound familiar? He told us black people, man, that we didn't help get him where he at. Right? And ain't they telling you that with all the black fights that they misfired on, bro? That they failed to make? They was telling us that we not worth it in boxing. We not worth spending a dime on. We not gonna make a return because y'all black people don't buy nothing. But even though it's not a white fan base in boxing anymore, anytime they get an opportunity in boxing in general to try to bring back and exploit the white fan base, they fail because they're in UFC. If it's Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Lomachenko, Tyson Fury, Caleb Plant, I mean, really, who's really cashed in? Like they cashed in with Gary Cooney, like they cashed in with Rocky Marciano and Jack Dempsey and Gary Tooney and those type of guys. You know what I'm saying? When have they really cashed in and had a great white hope? When have they really had somebody that's Tommy Morrison-esque as far as popularity in America? It's few far in between. Now they going to YouTubers. They going around the black fight fan, and this ain't a LDBC thing. This ain't a new media thing. This is a black thing. This is a black thing. This is a black thing. They don't respect your buying power. And I always bring up this clip from the movie about James Brown. And James Brown wanted to do a live album. They told James Brown that your people don't buy albums. Negroes don't buy albums. James, I'm not going to lose money, James, on you doing a live album and you don't have a fan base. You got to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself. That's what they think about you in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? And you got to, that's why they don't put a lot of money. That's why we don't see them putting $100 million budget into a black movie. This is deeper than boxing. A lawsuit is not going to change. It's not going to change the train of thought in boxing. This is what it's built on. They tell you in the music industry, in the movie industry, in the clothes, only thing they think black people spend money on is Tyler Perry movies, Jordans, Gucci, and shit like that. And they're right. A lot of people say in the chat, somebody said, well, not all black, of course. Not all black people, but the majority of them. It's not enough black people. If they did a movie, if they did a super movie on Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? Whoever else you want to put in there, and they did a super movie and they put all this money into the movie, niggas not gonna see that, bro. And they come out with the Matrix 7 and it's still as booty as the last one they dropped. Y'all still gonna go see the Matrix 7. I'm guilty of it, bro. Tired of seeing black people get whooped in slavery movies, and tired of them getting beat up. I'm tired of us getting shot at the end of movies and getting assassinated. I'm tired of that. I'm over it, bro. I want to see a movie where we empower. But then again, the black masses don't want that. But if you look at the situation, you're talking about a blacklist, right? We blacklisted from fighting each other. And we let the white collars up there tell us, and that's the businessman, not white people in general, that we don't sell and build it up and this, that, and well, why didn't build up Caleb Plant and Canelo? Well, no build up to that fight. And that fight was, it was negotiated for like 12 weeks. Why didn't there no build up, really from Fury to Deontay Wilder? They got in the ring, but there were no real build up. Their definition of build up is waiting for several years. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no real build up for Usyk and AJ. AJ and Ruiz, even though, it was a short notice. Wasn't no all the top fights in boxing, no matter if it's across the pond, on this side of the pond, or down southwest in Mexico. What's the build up? Okay, why didn't build up Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez? If that fight was so important and lucrative, that should never happen in the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? But every time we come to a Devin Haney or Gary Russell, you know what I'm saying? Or Javante Davis, it got marinate. It got, build up. Let the beat build. You got to do something. Every time it's, something with black in there, it's a build up or he ain't done enough. Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. That's a built-in thing in boxing. If Shakur Stevenson was, Saul Rodriguez, man, that shit would be, they didn't have a trilogy. They've been on the trilogy or rematch right now. There is a strong push in boxing not to make black versus black fights. And then when it comes to making black versus other ethnic groups, it's a strong push against that too. Think about that for a minute. It's a strong push against these fights. And then on top of that, you got some black fight fans who now who pushing with the powers that be in boxing, saying that oh no, don't make this black versus black fight, build it up, or he don't deserve this. So if we in the fans saying it, and the white collar corporate saying it, and the white collars got the ear of the black fighter saying, oh man, let this build, or we don't need to go this route, we're gonna save your boxing virginity for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? If they saying it and we saying it, then again, you can't complain. You can't complain, bro. It's been like this, bro. And it's been a billion, I'm gonna say billion, it's been a lot of great fighters in the last 10 or 15 years that could have made sweet chin music in boxing. Think about all the fights that could have happened that could have been great for boxing. Wilder, Joshua could have happened. Andrade, Jermell could have happened. Jamal, Andrade could have happened. Andrade, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Gary Russell, Tank, Haney, Crawford, Thurman, Spence, Crawford, Jermell, Jared Hurd, Jermell, Tony Harrison 3. They only did the first fight because Tony Harrison was the only one step up, said he'll fight him. And he lost and they had to get his belt back. Look at all these different fights. Charles Martin, Wilder could have happened. All these fights in the mix. Look how quick they sent Marcus Brown over there to fight Arthur Beterbiev, knowing it was a suicide mission. Beterbiev was Dontavius Jackson from Ames, Iowa City, or from Houston, Texas. Then Marcus Brown would have went for Beeville. He wouldn't even went to WBC route. Look at all these fights that we could have had and that could have been made that haven't been made. You know what I'm saying? All the lucrative fights that could have been made, bro. So it's already been an agenda on PBC, and obviously it's always been an agenda. It's always been an agenda. It's always been an agenda in boxing that not, if you can avoid it, don't put the black fighters in. No matter if we had the trilogy with Ali and Frazier, or one of the greatest heavyweight fights with George Foreman and Muhammad Ali, the Rumble in the Jungle. You know what I'm saying? All these great black fights that's been put on. Bo, Evander Holyfield, Roy Jones, James Toney was a clinic though. Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver. Jab Zuda versus Corey Spinks 1 and 2. Stinky Winky. That's what Bernard called him. Ricky Wright's my boy. Bernard Hopkins. All these fights they could have had. Remember Andre Ward and Darrell supposed to fight and the real got knocked out. Just something about boxing that doesn't appreciate and thinks black boxing appreciates. Guns and butter. Black boxing is butter. As long as the black fighters listen to their advisors and say they don't matter, and Tyson Fury could swoop in and get off the couch with a pack of Coke 45, could swoop in and get a fight while after coming off being proven that he was a cheater. As long as Usyk can move up and put himself in position to get those type of fights. Long as long as they Lomachenko can go in there and get Teofimo Lopez. As long as we like I said before, they had no problem. Lomachenko he's not even as popular as Demetrius Andrade. Andrade sell way better in the Northeast than Lomachenko sell anywhere. Anywhere. Black boxing has been blacklisting itself forever, bro. It's been blacklisting itself forever. And the fighters believe it. And people just put it on Bob Arum, but PBC, they live by it. They live by it. They live by it, bro. They avoid in-house black fights and they avoid out-house black fights. If it's a Latino in it, they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it. They live to avoid these type of fights. They live. It's the honest truth. All the fights they could have made. They keep putting Tank in there with Hispanics. They keep putting Gary Russell in there with mandatories. They went out their way to put Errol Spence in there with Mikey Garcia. They went out their way, to put him, Sean Porter fight everybody. Terrence Crawford, he's talking about the oppression that he had on Top Rank. There's an oppression on PBC. It's just a non-disclosure agreement that they can't speak on it. They can't speak on it. Excuse me. They don't believe in these type of fights. Because if they did, they would have put the money up long ago for Keith Thurman to fly back from the pause. If he get in the ring with a hurt elbow, hurt hand versus Pacquiao, what's the difference versus Errol Spence? They intentionally avoid fights that looks like this. And these two niggas don't even probably know it, bro. If they could find the money for Mikey Garcia, what's a couple more million to get to Keith Thurman to get to Errol Spence? I think Errol Spence would have took less money to fight him. He would have. They made Deontay Wilder turn down a lucrative offer from the zone to fight Anthony Joshua. He admitted it. Come on, tell me where I'm lying at. And we fight in our community. We fight in our community against two black fighters. And that's exactly what they want from us. That's exactly what they want. They want to put a wedge between Thurman and Spence. And then 4, 5, 6 years down the line, give you cold buffet, Golden Corral food that's real cold. And say, here, we gave you the fight that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Why our fights can't pop off when they supposed to pop off? Lomachenko fights pop off when they supposed to pop off. Why Haney got to wait? Why, Tank got to be advised to wait? Why Charlo had to wait? Why Wilder had to wait? Wilder should have had AJ, Charles Martin, and been a surefire Hall of Famer, unified, undisputed champion before Tyson Fury even got off the couch and ran a mile or did a sit-up. Think about that for a minute. Black boxing is always on hold. We always told to marinate. All right. That's us. That's us. And we when we doing a job for them. No, and that's why they don't respect new media boxes. Not because a lot of us don't do great work. It's because of our skin color, bro. Tim Smith told Ness, like, man, I don't care about them little YouTube dudes. But then again, when y'all can't get nobody to come to y'all fights, y'all be begging us and giving us credentials to come to fights last minute because you can't get nobody to come. No more. No more. I'm gonna speak on what I want to speak on. I never really had a filter, but I'm gonna speak on what I want to speak on. Because these same black people that's in boxing, he said, well, Top Rank ain't got this many black executives. Well, PBC got a lot of black people. They pushing the same narrative, and I support this lawsuit, but I got to keep it real. It's $100 bill. Can't be fake like a $3 bill. Can't be fake. Y'all need to hear this. They believe, he said, well, Bob couldn't deliver me the fight. Well, nigga, we knew that for like 20 years already. But you go over there and you free. I just wanna be free. You free. I free man. I free man. And you still can't deliver the fight. And you cut the white middleman out. Why is that? Because they don't care about making black fighters. They don't care about the black dollar. The black dollar, they believe, come with the Hispanic dollar. It come with the white dollar. It come with the Filipino dollar. It come with the Brazilian dollar. It come from the Canadian. It come with the Canadian. It's just the add in. It just sprinkle. We ain't even icing on the cake. We just a sprinkle on the cake. We just a candle without the light. And I need to show y'all this, bro, that we've been on hold forever. We've been on hold forever. Black boxing has been on hold, and this has been the narrative forever. Ever. Forever, never. What do you say? Forever, ever. It never seems so long. Black boxing has been on hold, and y'all fighting over mediocre, petty beefs. Y'all fighting over, who would be who or who done enough, and they don't feel the same about neither one of the fighters. They feel the same way. Same way. And what Crawford found out is that, he probably not going to admit it, but what he even found out was every hood the same. Every hood the same. Hey, every hood the same. Like Cube say, every hood the same. PBC hood the same. Only one that might be a little bit different is Eddie Hearn. You was never getting that fight at your, and then you could have even lowered your demand and say, you know what, I take the 5-ball. Then it came up with something else. So they go out their way, not for us to show that we can sell, bro. They go out their way. They go out their way to prove to us that our money don't matter. They go out their way to prove us, and then you think a black company would try to help kill that narrative. Nope. So black boxing been blacklisted for a long time, bro. You know what I'm saying? They told us we can't sell, we can't find the money, and this, that, and the third. But so they disrespect us, man. We, do what y'all do. Don't, do the 5-finger discount. You feel what I'm saying? Do the 5-finger discount. Don't spend no money, bro. And when they ask for the credential these fights, don't go. Don't support their credentials as new media. Black or white, forget going to the media room and watch what you got to say, man. Just go to the hotel, go to the venue, and get the interviews in the concourse. You can ask the question and say what you want to say. Come on, man. Since we don't matter, bro, as new media, as black media, or even other people that support the black box, you ain't got to be white. You ain't got to be black. Let's stop supporting them. Let's stop asking for credentials. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop going to their hole in the walls. Let's get ours off this boxing. And that go for everybody. Let's get ours. Let's run our money up. Let's keep our money in our community. Let's support our content creators, whoever you like. If I don't like them, I do or don't like them. Don't hurt them. Go support them. Take that $70 and break it down to your favorite YouTubers or your favorite, charities, whoever it may be. Take that money elsewhere. Since our money don't matter to them, bro, forget spending money on boxing, bro. Spend money when you want to spend money. If you want to go to a fight, I don't blame you. You gotta start supporting these bullshit fights too, though. You know, we gotta keep our money in our pockets. This is what they tell them. But yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests, all my social media subscription. Twitter's the fastest way to Facebook and Instagram. We'll make a financial donation. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, roll in the bottom of the screen. Both of them in the username in the description. PayPal link in the description. Um, uh, Best way to donate, comment, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe button, bell icon button, all my social media links, everything I talked about in the description. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.